5 questions on talking about emotion, the assignment. So, the first one was read about emotion as a process and think of an IPC scenario to use as an explanation. So, I'm going to use my senior year playing football before I tore my ACL. Was we had some scouts coming to practices and games. One of the practices, scouts were there from Tech, and so I saw the activating event, which is the first part of the process of emotion. Is there's an activating event, something that happens, and so coaches and scouts together, we're all doing drills, and I noticed the coaches and scouts kind of nodding, pointing towards me because it was getting to be my turn in the drill. And as I did that, or as I saw that, I started becoming perceptually aware. And so that's the second part, is seeing that activating event and then thinking it's about you. So I became perceptually aware. So I started trying to listen in and really pay attention to, and I realized that they were saying, hey, watch this guy, and coach was telling him a little bit about me. And so that's that cognitive realization and interpretation of, okay, they are talking about me, and it's time. So for me, the physiological part, which is the next part, is heart rate gets increased, get excited. Like this is my chance to show them what I'm all about. And so that was my experience and my scenario for this question. Part two, or next question was watch the song Chemical Love, and what ways does the song relate to the topic of emotion and being in love? First off, this song's pretty hard to watch, but he was just talking, and what I took from it was, he was just explaining the chemical process of falling in love. With a girl he didn't know. That whole love at first sight was the hormones releasing, coming together, and thinking he's in love. Question 3: explain a time you tried to mask emotion. Did it work? So I'm going to take my experience. I like playing Texas Hold'em. I like playing poker. I'm from Louisiana. Before I moved to Texas, my early 20s, I played a lot of Texas Hold'em at the casinos, cash games. And being younger, I didn't have a good poker face. I could be, I could look mad or whatever, but there was times when I remember first going down and playing, and I was, one of the younger ones at the table a lot of times, and I would flop the best hand. And hard to, people would start commenting, I'd bet, or the look on my face, or just all of a sudden get excited without trying to. And sometimes that's the hard part. When you're trying to hide the excitement, you end up doing things that just tell people, hey, I'm not playing in this hand with this guy. He's got a good hand. And then so as experience came along, as age came along, now playing poker, I feel like I can control that a lot better. That emotion of, when I get the best hand, or when I'm bluffing and trying to show them I got the best hand when I really don't. Question 4 was watching my waffle wedded wife and how emotional contagion. So how is the video a good example of emotional contagion? It's just when one person starts laughing, everybody starts laughing. It was a good example of that. Once he said it, she laughed, Pastor laughed, and then they kept trying to get back on track, and it just happens over and over and over again. Do you relate to it anyway? Same kind of thing. My son, we always say he's got the case of the giggles. This dude, he'll find something funny, he'll start laughing, and it's just hard not to laugh with him. You can try not to, but he's giggling, and him trying to hold it in, it's just funny. And how else might we experience emotional contagion other than the laughter thing? On the flip side of it is sadness. Funerals, like you see one person cry, a lot of times people say, oh, don't start crying, I'm going to cry. It's just that sadness. It just kind of spreads. So that's another way. And then last one is think about a time when emotion was facilitated or debilitated. I think about nervousness, anxiety. You can be nervous, and the book talks about this too, but there's, as experience happens, like nervousness can be debilitative at times. You get so nervous, you overthink it, you overanalyze it, and you end up not doing anything sometimes. And I've been blessed to use nervousness as a tool, even when I was younger, like school, or if I was teaching somebody something or training somebody. I wanted to make sure that I used nervousness to make sure that I knew what I needed to know in order to not look like a fool to somebody else. That was kind of I'm still that way. I'm more aware of it now. I don't mind. Hey, buddy, I don't know. We can figure it out together, type of thing. A little more calm, relaxed about it. But I used it to make sure that, like in school, I was on top of it. Because I was nervous about looking a fool, and so that's how I relate nervousness to being both facilitative and debilitative can be. So thank you very much for watching.